Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. We are back with some more Frieren Beyond Journey's End, episode 26. Last episode we learned about Frieren's main vulnerability that can be used against the replica. When she casts a spell, her mana sense is delayed, and that combined with Fern's invisibility and basically her quick draw Zoltrak makes Frieren believe that Fern will be the one to kill the replica. And it was funny seeing Frieren say, not like kill the replica, she said, I believe that you can kill me. And it was just funny seeing her say that with a smile on her face. She was really enjoying all this planning because it was making her think of, you know, in the past whenever she was doing dungeon crawls with the old party. The only thing missing this time around is a hungover like Hyder, and it would be hilarious if there was a character like that right now, and once the replicas attacked, there would just be like basically a hungover zombie-like replica walking towards the party. Just some funny imagery, like say they defeat all the replicas and they're tired and they're like, you know, almost out of mana, and then they hear something like stumbling down the hall but they can't quite see it, and you know they're starting to panic, and then all of a sudden it's just the last replica is just a hungover one, and you know, easy to get rid of. That would have been great, and it kind of would have been on brand for the show, I feel like. Even though I think the last episode ended in that flashback with Zerdia, we are right in the middle of a battle, so let's go ahead and hop into the next episode. I already hear everything going on. Here we go, right back to it. These spells and animation, I keep saying it, but man, they're so good. Just creating like a giant black hole. And then it explodes and just creates these spires. Insane. This is one of the spells I do remember, her making like a rock golem. It made me think of, and Sonic Adventure 2 where you fight that giant golem. Not gonna be the same way to defeat it though. Meanwhile, Fern's just flying around waiting for the moment.
It blocked the spell.
Things are unfolding as expected.
Yeah, so far so good.
From here on out, it's a battle of attrition.
And that battle could go on for a long time with these two.
Try not to hold me back.
Well, they're up against Kana, and she doesn't have any water really.
Determine the exact locations of the enemy combatants. If we're forced into a melee, we'll
Does she just have that good of mana sense or something?
Strategy is the classic divide and conquer. The person you'd least like to face in battle.
Hopefully they show us who everyone said. I want to see what everyone said.
As long as we choose our opponents,
He'll get to do what he wanted to do episodes ago, just bargling them to death.
and as a group.
Ooh, he just ducked that.
Some will be too strong to face alone. We'll counter that strength with numbers.
Okay, so yeah, I mean I knew she didn't need water, but I don't think we'd seen her launch like a Zoltrak or anything basic.
Easy, it's almost laughable.
These replicas are, I mean, she's saying it's easy, but they're doing some cinematic dodges here.
At this rate, we'll stop them all, no problem.
But what about Zenza's? I'm almost worried they're so confident.
Seems we have a solid plan.
Indeed, though a little luck wouldn't hurt.
I'm detecting fewer replicas than we have test takers, which means that some of them are unaccounted for. Notably, I can't find Miss Zinza's double, who I believe we can all agree poses the greatest threat.
And we can't afford to be caught
I
unawares.
wonder if the real Zenza's aware of why
If she
that
comes at
is.
us from behind, then I won't be able to protect Fern.
I've been similarly unable to locate Ms. Fern or Mr. Denkin's replicas. We'll have to search for them using more precise, close-range detection.
So it seems like,
Decided to come along, we would have a lot less to worry about.
yeah, it seems like some of the top dogs are the ones who can't be found. Although it makes sense for Fern.
Both adversity and unfairness. This is a kind test and a peaceful one.
No, it is not. Look at them just fighting all out wars. I mean, I guess you can't consider it a war, but this is not peaceful.
Glad we won.
Oh, no, that quick? Oh,
Lavina,
I can't believe this happened so fast. No, don't break your bottle.
Damn it!
No! No! They actually didn't pass.
I didn't make it in time. Even with its back to me, I can't detect any openings.
Yeah, with that hair being alive, it's tough to find anything.
Down.
Well, well, if it isn't Denkin, the fancy pants Imperial Mage. So, what's the situation, boss?
Take a look.
I don't think that you can win.
I tend to agree.
If we want to conquer the labyrinth, is beating her a must?
Well,
Not necessarily.
Currently,
Spare me the details. Is this necessary or not?
Just gotta hold it off long enough. Oh. Okay.
Then let me take care of her.
How delusional are you?
Yes, I'm a third-class mage, and yes, I am lacking in experience. Both Denkin and Verbal could beat me to a pulp,
But what trick you got up your
but
sleeve?
I'm confident that I can take down Zenza. It's a spell that cuts through almost anything.
Okay.
Real Zidon. If I think I can cut something, I can slice and dice it all day. If I don't think I can, it's
like
impenetrable.
I don't know why you're so
I couldn't remember the
sure.
spell last time, but it's like dismantle or
What
one of
that
the
spell
spells
for.
Sukuna uses.
That hair is imbued with so many layers of magic, it makes utter child's play of Verbal's defensive spell.
You should accept that sort of logic doesn't matter. This is a game of pure visualization.
She's gonna use the world cutting slice. There's dismantle on that other one. I can't remember what it
That
is.
wouldn't work on her. It's impossible to see all of her at once.
Yeah, so you can't Sorganil her.
Real Zidon.
Just as expected, Ubel is the one facing my replica, and it will be a far cry from a real fight. It happened 2 years ago during the second class mage exam. She made it past the primary.
Oh, we're gonna make it
and was
to-
attending the second test proctored by
Yeah, when she killed that first class.
He was so skilled in defensive magic that he hadn't been injured once since passing his exam and taking on the position.
Like
As such,
Gata.
The test was structured around this. He wore his immovable cloak that was woven with so many defensive spells that no magical attack could penetrate it.
The way they're talking about even Zenza's hair and how she's been weaving magic into it, and now how they're talking about this man, I think it was Barg, I might have missed that part to confirm that, but the way they're talking about his cloak and how he's weaving magic into that and basically made, like an impenetrable cloak. It makes me think of, I don't know if, any of you are fans of the Aragon inheritance cycle, the world of Allegasia and everything, but they kind of did similar things where they would weave magic into weapons, really anything, and you could do that over time, or not quite the same, but kind of pour your magic into gemstones or any object really that was capable of holding the magic. But this is what it's reminding me of, which is really cool. And even the creativity of magic, like using creativity to do things that shouldn't be possible. Yeah, using creative spells to kind of bypass other spells, just as long as you're able to outwit them, basically, you can, win battles like that. It really reminds me of that world. So yeah, just really cool to see that here as well.
For the second test, the examinees fired offensive magic against Berg and his cloak. If they could make him take just one step back, they passed.
And then she just straight up killed him. He kind of put himself, would be a disqualification, but he put himself in this position.
That way, other mages wouldn't be hurt by the onslaught.
Next.
Berg, not Barg.
Not a single one of us was worried about Berg.
Right in half. Okay, this is way too similar to JJK.
Not too deep.
Oh, spoilers.
It was a complete and utter shock when he was easily killed by a no-name girl.
I feel like I passed as much as I failed, but I guess that I get it. Can I please leave now?
After you answer one question, how did you defeat his immovable cloak?
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Let's see now.
What thought did you come up in your
Have you
mind?
had to sew anything before, Zenza? You do seem like you come from a rich family. To be honest, I've never actually tried it myself. But I used to watch my big sister do it all the time.
No wonder she has the type of attack she does. Her eyes were still
Find
creepy
a
back
clean
then.
Piece of cloth. You place the scissors against it like this and slide them right through.
They basically
Does
raised
that
her to
sound
be
strange
a
to
murderer.
Where are you going?
Or at least that's the direction it went.
I know cloth can be cut. I imagined cutting it, then used my magic to snip away.
This woman is insane.
Okay, maybe Zenza isn't as creepy as I thought.
dullest of the dull could muster that much. A spell can't create anything the caster can't perfectly visualize. Precious few mages can imagine penetrating a cloak that is known to be impregnable. One glance at the thing and you can tell it blocks even the strongest magical attacks.
And she just completely pushed that aside and just had utter confidence in her abilities.
But she relied on intuition over intelligence. Despite intellectually understanding
Intuition, basically, that she had from a very young age.
She constructed a vision of slicing through the cloak, guided by feeling alone.
Which is what Lon says he hates. He hates mages like her. But it's about to save their butt.
Is in the realm of genius.
By the way, Zinza, real pretty hair you've got. It must be a nightmare to maintain.
She was like, that's basically like a threat. Like, I know what you can do, and if it comes down to it.
Simply cannot imagine beating Ubel.
You all need to take a step out of your heads. Hair is something to be cut.
You're buying time, fending off the copies until Frieren defeats the Spiegel and puts an end to the madness.
Okay, Matoda caught up with them.
That's right.
Then good news. We've defeated 3 of them already.
Nice. Yeah, them sitting around, they wouldn't be doing that if they didn't already defeat them, so. Nice job.
Miss Zinza's replica's been destroyed. It would seem the third-class mage Ubel is responsible.
Ubel would be a disaster for Zinza.
Battles between mages are more like rock, paper, scissors than competitions of strength.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's going to be matchups for sure.
It's a complex game featuring many more weapons than scissors, paper, and rock.
I like that Verbal wasn't surprised. He knows how scary she is.
For your side, huh? Sure. We'll help you slow down the replicas and hopefully take a few out.
Currently, there are 2 dangerous replicas we need to put all of our energy into stopping. Mr. Denkin's replica is rapidly approaching the bottom. I would like you to deal with it as quickly as possible.
She's dealing out the orders, huh?
I will take Fern's, and though fighting it will be no easy task, I worry finding it will prove harder. The girl is incredibly skilled at concealing her mana for long periods.
Erda, you ready for a round 2 or what's up?
It could ambush and kill one of us.
Don't underestimate it. Fern is strong.
I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, but restraining spells are my forte. Besides, with her permission, of course, I tested my binding magic on the actual spell and had great success.
Right.
Much better success than with Frieren.
Let's go fight this thing. Ubel, what's going on?
Madam Copycat is back and ready to play.
She's back? It just created a whole new one? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not good.
Until the Spiegel is dead, it looks like our replicas will just keep coming around for more.
Yeah,
Nothing stirs the soul.
I was hoping that wouldn't be the case, but here they are.
I couldn't agree more.
Good thing they can fly if he's gonna be collapsing the floors. Is that Matoda? Oh no, who used their golem? Gosh, look at this attack. It's like Dark Flame Dragon or something.
It's too slight for Fern to notice.
Even though they're openings, it's too small sometimes.
Choice. The vulnerability in my mana detection isn't large enough to land a final blow.
But if the opening was bigger, I'm certain we could do it.
I will create the opening. If I show an opening, I'm confident the replica will show a greater one.
Because she'll be worried about
Frieren, that would mean.
multiple enemies.
Focus on defense. Nothing that slips past will kill me.
All right. What strategy should we
I
use?
like this perspective, looking at Frieren. Oh my gosh, they're shooting galaxies at each other.
It's up to you. If you think we can win, I have no doubt we can. Because I know you, Fern, and I've underestimated you the whole time.
I'm very glad to hear it. That means victory is well within our reach.
I just got goosebumps with the music and the spells going through. So good. Just the huge black Zoltrak. That is insane. That was on purpose? It's about time for the height of magic. There's that, what would Era say? Saturated attack again.
It's still standing, but that wound is fatal. I should finish.
Here it comes. Oh, there's the FLAMME look right there. Yeah. I remember this, and then her staff is broken.
Did it attack me? I'm not sensing any mana. Whatever it did, I don't even recognize it as a spell.
Which is just insane. So it's basically Frieren probably invented an attack.
Mistress Frieren.
And in her head, she's like,
Magic.
I don't want this attack to feel like mana at all. I'm sure it's not that simple, but that has to be part of it. Now that I know, like, how much the magic has to do with your mind. Awesome.
Excellent work, Fern.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all of the spoilers I've seen up to this point. I never really saw anything story related as far as spoilers. You know, it was always these battles, specifically the three, being this fight with the replica, Frieren and Denkin's battle, and the fight with Aura. Because I never knew any of the characters really, I always thought Fern was kind of just a character that popped in and helped Frieren. I was unaware of basically everything that makes not only this battle with its animation and the crazy attacks that they're doing. I was unaware of anything that even elevated even more past that, which would be the relationship that they have, why Frieren had so much trust in Fern, and basically why the replica ended up using, you know, that attack that doesn't even register as an attack, because Fern is an actual problem. We've seen it this whole entire time, and even Frieren, you know, just admitted in that little flashback that she feels the same way. And so that's why Frieren knew that she could create that huge opening, because Fern is a problem and the replica didn't have a Fern to help her with, to make the battle kind of an even one, 2 versus 2. So yeah, it kind of goes without saying, you know, knowing context and the background of the characters and everything leading up to this point, it just elevates the fight and the ending and just how epic it is. So super happy to be clueless about what's going on, you know, now that we're nearing the end of this season and we got season 2 that's already out. I know I still got a couple episodes up left to watch here and react to, but this, you know, definitely seems like the climax. So, but I'll stop yapping and get back to the episode. Good job not dying.
At least 80 years since I was last forced to use that.
And it's been 80 years since the Demon King, right?
Come now. It's time we finish this.
Yeah, hurry and break it so we can see who passed the test.
So the deed is done.
I can't move a muscle.
Verbal, can you please carry me?
Not again.
You just can't stay on your feet, can you?
Unless I'm missing somebody here, it looks like just Levine and Richter are the ones who didn't pass, at least since Adel and everybody, basically since they started worrying about the replicas coming to get them. It feels so wrong that Kana is passing without Levine.
Congratulations, you have conquered the labyrinth. This is a great achievement fit for a first-class mage. You have proven yourselves worthy in my eyes. As promised, everyone who made it here has passed the second test and will continue forward in the exam.
Yeah, I almost forgot that there's actually a third exam still.
How odd.
How could it be even harder than this?
Ladies of the hour.
Yeah, and a gold mimic would be even harder to not worry about. Of course she'd be in there.
It's the best of us all, huh? And with that, the second trial has drawn to a close.
What's his name? Bly? He actually survived too. That's awesome. And the guy who went off on his own is actually alive there too. So he went on his own, but basically everyone, a mage from like every party ended up surviving. And so now, well, they still got to pass the third test, but now they'll have the possibility of having a first class mage for everyone who entered the exam and at least made it this far. And that's a wrap for this awesome episode, and everyone made it out alive. Let's go. And gotta give thanks to Ubel for that. If she wasn't around to kill that Zenza replica, Denkin and Land, or both of them, would have probably been goners. And getting to see that flashback where she killed that first class mage, that was really crazy. Also cool and unfortunate for Berg, but yeah, it was great to see why Zenza had so much faith in Ubel defeating her replica. And kind of related to pausing it with that flashback, but you know, my apologies for pausing so much during this episode. I just had so much that I wanted to kind of pause and take in and look at, you know, what was going on screen, but also just other stuff that I wanted to speak to. And that devilish look that the Frieren replica gave Fern, you know, when she used that attack, that was so much better this time around, knowing where she gets it from, you know, gets it from FLAMME. Or at least that's what I like to think, because, you know, that's what FLAMME did when she killed those 3 demons, you know, episodes ago. And that attack that she used, that has to be the attack that she used to kill the Demon King 80 years ago, because she mentioned, yeah, 80 years ago was the last time I used that. And if that's the case, hats off to Fern for surviving that. Just goes to prove like what a beast she is. Just a crazy end and a crazy episode in general. It really feels like it should have been the end to the season if not for that 3rd test. But we still have 2 episodes left, so maybe we'll see kind of that 3rd test wrap up, although that seems kind of unlikely with the way that things have been going. And my apologies again for all the pauses throughout the video. Unless that's something that you enjoyed, and if it is, you know, please let me know down in the comments. But I'll go ahead and wrap up here. You know, as usual, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to also like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one.